Welcome to High Mind, a podcast where I get high and explore life. Mostly it's my deep thoughts. Sometimes it isn't, though. But mostly it is. Except when it's not. Anyways, enjoy. So, you may have noticed there are a few things different about this podcast from the start. One, we are not outside. I'm in the bus today, just hanging out, doing my morning thing, and also I am not high. If you didn't know, I am not high all the time, um, but I do use getting high as a tool in my life for a lot of different things, but mainly for um, kind of like self-discovery, or I don't know, just looking at things in a different way, or getting a new perspective or different perspective on stuff, or exploring different feelings or emotions, and just kind of learning. And but I don't think that that's the only tool or the only way I can learn is when I'm high. If it was, then I don't know. I feel like that might be an unhealthy balance, maybe. Um, but so one of the things I do is take things I learn while high, or thoughts that I kind of explore, or feelings that I have, and then try to kind of practice them, or take the things I learned that are good, or that, like, okay, like I've seen, my self-consciousness from a different perspective, and now I understand more of how, like, oh, like it's really not a good thing that I think so hard about myself, or that I am so afraid of what people think of me. Like, that's really keeping me from a lot of good things in my life, and it's keeping me from doing a lot of good, in other people's lives, or being, my happiest, best self, which is then better for all the people around me. Um, so then I try to take those things that I learn like that, and then every day when I'm not high, um, try to do them and practice them. And it is a little harder at first, for sure, because there's certain things like fear, or um, mostly fear for me, but that's like an inhibitor in regular life that feels really strong and present, and very much in my face and in between me and whatever it is that I either want to do or feel like doing, but I'm afraid for, whatever reason it is in that scenario. But so yeah, I try to practice the things that I learn in regular life. And one of the ways I've been doing that is playing music, writing songs, something I've always loved to do, but haven't done as much because I was afraid of, how other people, would see my music or my songs, and, if they would think that they sucked or not, and therefore I suck or not. And I didn't want to be pitied by anyone, looking down on me, thinking like, oh, like, poor guy, he really wants to be good at that, but he really sucks. And so that's one of my fears too, is being a pitiable person. But anyways, so I'm practicing facing those fears and kind of overcoming them by playing music, um, and writing songs, and playing in public too. So I started playing outside, like at parks, or I went to Union Square the other day in San Francisco, and just kind of sat out there in the square and played while people were like walking around. Some people would stop and listen for a minute. Other people just kind of walk by. So it was super cool. I actually met a couple of people, a couple of homeless guys, and talked with them. Well, I got to talk with one of them. The first one just kind of talked to me for a little bit, and he seemed a little crazy, but the second guy seemed pretty cool, and we were able to actually have like a conversation. I got to know him some, and hear about his life, and and I got to tell him some about my life too, and he seemed like he actually listened a little bit. Um, so we got to kind of connect, and that was cool. And all through, not all through. I mean, I could have gone, I guess, and just hung out in the square and just sat there, but maybe not though. Also, because if I didn't have my guitar and wasn't playing music, maybe those two guys wouldn't have been drawn to me. Maybe they wouldn't have noticed me. They wouldn't have heard me. They wouldn't have heard my guitar or my voice and been drawn to it, or just even noticed me as they walked by. I might have just kind of stayed in their peripheral as they went about their day, and we would have never had those interactions. And I really think that like being who we're meant to be is a good thing. I think it brings good and happiness to ourselves, and then also to the people around us. So, um, so yeah, I've been doing that, and I am not high this morning, but I have drank coffee, which is for sure a mind-altering substance. If you don't think it is, then you're probably drinking super weak-ass coffee. That's not really coffee. It's more like brown bathwater. The, the coffee I make though, and I'm not trying to like brag or something, but like I make super strong coffee. Like it should definitely be categorized as Schedule 1 coffee, which there's a cool brand name. Somebody take that and make it Schedule 1 coffee. I think that would definitely appeal to a certain demographic and market or target audience. I saw you've probably seen it in the stores. There's a coffee called Death Wish. It's got like skull and crossbones on it, and I was like, geez, you know, that's like a little aggressive for my taste, I think. But I've never actually tried the coffee, so maybe I would love it. But it seems like they kind of know their target market and are going after a specific demographic, and I'm sure they probably do well. But anyways, if you want to make Schedule 1 coffee, go for it. The brand is yours. I'm not even taking credit for it. I won't come after you for any kind of rights. I just want to see it happen. Like, I really just want to see cool stuff happen in life for other people, for me, for everyone. Like, I want people to be happy. And I think sometimes in order for me to help other people be happy, I have to change their circumstances, because a lot of times it seems like the most obvious cause of someone's suffering or unhappiness is a result of their difficult circumstances, which it is to a large degree. Circumstances definitely make life really hard, and make it really difficult to change or grow or be happy, or it's not always the things that we're necessarily completely choosing. A lot of times it's things that other people are choosing for us or for you, for your friends, like whoever. And that's an unfortunate thing. Even no matter how hard we try, or no matter how hard we might want to be better or be happier, and be willing to leave other people alone, and be willing to let other people have their different opinions or their different lifestyles or whatever, and like respect that and be like, you know what, like I don't want to infringe on anyone else's happiness. I feel like they have a right to that just as much as I do. But other people can still infringe upon your own happiness and your own life and make decisions that have consequences that you bear, a lot of times just as much or maybe even more than that person, which is just kind of one of the, I don't want to say it's a shitty part of life, because it also has the opposite effect too, of like your good decisions or like our acts of sacrifice and selflessness or kindness can affect other people's lives too. And we can spread those things to people, and we can like rain positive consequences on everyone around us by our own self, our own being, our own happiness, like our own light, our own self, our own energy, whatever you want to call it. Like I don't care what religion or what thing you believe in or don't believe in. Like you gotta know, or like everyone I feel like would admit or at least say that we definitely have an effect on the people around us. And that's true. And whether you want to label that as like a spiritual thing or not, or just a physical thing, or a biological consequential thing, whatever, like I don't really care. But yeah, I've also been thinking how I do want to bring relief to people with my life as much as I can. And in the past, that's been actually kind of a super, not always, but like sometimes it's been a very discouraging thought for me because I saw no way to bring relief to people, because it does seem like people's suffering is dependent so much on their circumstances, and I either don't have the financial means, or I don't have maybe the time or even the knowledge to know how to change their circumstance or to get them out of that or whatever. Or even maybe if I did, it's like, okay, I could spend my entire life trying to relieve this one particular circumstance for this one person or these couple people, and then in the end maybe it would bring some relief, but also maybe that's not, the deepest source of their suffering. I don't know. So like that's kind of like a confusing place that, or a confusing and discouraging thought that I've had before, and it hasn't kept me from helping people, because I still like every like day-to-day interaction I have with people, I really try as much as I can to bring like some love and kindness like into their lives, because maybe they're not getting a lot of that. And that's what I realized, I think too, is that like that's what I have to give. Like I kept looking at people's circumstances and their like needs, and I'm not saying that circumstantial things or physical things or financial things are not real needs. Like I think they are, and I think there's some people out there that have the financial means to make changes like that, and if you're one of those people, then it's awesome. Like help relieve people's circumstances if you can, you know help change their environment if you can, like whatever you can do to help. I think that's what you can do to help. And then but I've realized about myself is that like for whatever reason, the way I feel like I'm made or was born, or the spirit that was given to me, I feel like I have a lot of like compassion and love for people. And I think I've started to realize more that that's what I have to give. And then maybe, I don't think, I'm not saying that like my love and compassion can just like heal people or change their whole lives. Like I think it depends on every individual person too, and the choices they either decide to make or not, and how severe their suffering is too sometimes. Like I don't believe in lost causes, but there's definitely causes that are way farther down the road of years of being hurt, or years of being oppressed, or years of being angry, or years of being just dissatisfied and fed up, that have put them in a deeper, darker place that takes more time to come out of, maybe even than this physical life has left in it for them. But I don't like to spend a lot of time thinking about that, because I don't feel like that's a helpful thing to dwell on. Like I feel like it's more helpful for me to think like, well, I don't know where they might be at the end of their life, but I do know that I can do these things, to help, and possibly they could contribute in the end to their relief. And And so for me, I think that music is actually one of those things I was meant to do. And you might hear some of these songs that I'm writing now and maybe my guitar playing ability and be like, you might rethink that one. But yeah, I'm in the developmental stages, guys, okay? But I also think that something can have value even if it's not perfect or even that great, like physiologically or skill-wise or talented. Because like, just because someone's talented, and I'm not downplaying talent, but I'm just saying, just because you have a talent doesn't mean it's accomplishing good things in your life or other people's lives. It could possibly be leading you into like a destructive pattern of narcissism, selfishness. I don't know. It's all in how you use it, I think, and that's what I've discovered with a lot of things in my life. Good things and things that even before I thought were like, oh, that's a bad thing, but I was just using it bad. So I've been writing songs, and I'm gonna play this song for you guys now. I wrote this song for a friend of mine. My friend's name is Charles. I really doubt that he'll probably ever see this podcast. I hope he does. I hope he listens all the way to this point. I'll tag him and message him and text him and Facebook him and everything, so hopefully he'll see it. But Charles has gone through a lot of difficult things in his life. I'm not going to talk about the details because that's not important. All that's important is that it has been difficult for him. And how hard something is for each person to decide for themselves. I just know that I care about him and I want to bring him some relief if I can. But he hasn't been responding for a while. Anyways, I hope you see this, man, but this song is for you, Charles. When I was little, the man on TV told me that life is like a box of chocolates. When he was speaking, somebody older said, not every day will taste like chocolate. Some are bitter, some are hard, some will break your teeth. You gotta spit 'em out, don't ever let 'em take your peace. Every day is new, you don't have to rinse, repeat. I know it's easy to sing, but it's hard to be. All you know is no one remembers you, but you don't know I've been losing sleep. If you ever feel like ending, you pick up the phone and call out to me. Poker faces might save you in Vegas, but here they'll only keep you from sweet relief. Anyways, that was for you, Charles. And I would also present the question to anyone that has watched this far. Is there anyone in your life that maybe they've been through something really difficult, or just maybe their life is chronically difficult? Maybe it's not one big circumstance, but it just seems like they've been through thing after thing after thing. And maybe they seem like they're doing okay, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just putting on that brave face, and for themselves and for other people, because, they're just trying to keep going. But at a certain point, I think some people, or all of us, even if we are pushed to that point, we can break. And, I saw that happen with my friend, and I really hope he comes back, and I'm going to keep trying to reach him, and I hope that he answers. But yeah, is there somebody like that in your life that maybe just check on them or ask them, like, hey, like, I don't mean to be, invading into all your personal business, but I just want to make sure that you're okay. Or maybe phrase it however you want to phrase it, but like, check on them, and if you are one of those people that feels like alone or unknown, or no one thinks about you or cares about you, like, I don't think that's true. Like, I think there's somebody out there that does. Maybe you don't even know that person, honestly. Like, and that's a shitty place to be. And like, maybe the people you actually know, maybe they don't care about you. Maybe they are selfish people, or they don't think about you, or like, and I'm sorry. Maybe, I don't know, and maybe you have tried to reach out to people in the past, and so that's why you're not anymore. But I don't know. Reach out to somebody. Keep trying. Don't give up. I hope my friend does not give up, because I definitely still care about him, and I know his family does too. Anyways, I'm trying to get all sad, but yeah. What do you have that you could give the world, or just yourself? Even start there, I think, maybe is a better place to start. Not like, oh, like, how could I affect the entire world? Because I think sometimes that's maybe a little too big of a thing to tackle, mentally and physically. But I think starting with, what do you do already or don't do that either helps or doesn't help your own life, your own happiness, your own peace, your own everything? Like, what are things that you're doing or not doing in your own life? Or how are you using the tools in your life, and does it have a good outcome? Is it bearing good fruit in your life? Like, I don't know. Because I really think that our best selves is the best thing we can give to the world and to other people. I don't really believe in like self-improvement just for the sake of like being some amazing thing and just like relishing in our own, or glory, or whatever you want to call it. But like, I think we are meant to become our best selves, and then that self is meant to help other people do the same thing. Like, our happiness is meant to create happiness around us, to spread happiness. I think that's just kind of how the universe works. And whatever we are, isn't just contained to us, you know? It goes out like energy or like whatever, however you want to think about it. But yeah, so freaking be your best. And for you and for everybody else, man. That's what I'm trying to do. And I think I'm learning that some of the things that I didn't used to think were useful about me, I hope, are actually some of the most useful things that I have to give to the world. And so that's also what I'm trying to do through this podcast is, I don't know, try, and see where it goes and see if maybe one day this will be a really useful tool. And if not, like it definitely won't have hurt anything, at least not from my perspective. Like I have like $0 invested into this, and it's just time, which I have lots of, and I don't know. So, yeah. Cheers with your coffee to that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did, see you later. If you listened this far, I am truly sorry, but you will never get that time back. See you later.